Hello everyone, this is my week 2 sketchbook tour, the fruit drawings. I started off by drawing an apple right here. Not the best. I think I did pretty okay for it being the first one though. I did try using the cross-hatching method, but I did struggle a bit on that because this one is a little bit more of a round fruit. And the lighting with the colors of the apple was making it a little bit difficult. I feel like I was able to capture the highlight of the apple over on this side. Other than that, it was a little difficult, especially since the light was coming from this way and the shadow was casting forward rather than backwards. But I am pretty happy with how it came out. The next one I did was the cherry. I think it came out pretty good. It is a bit round like the apple, but it didn't have much of a weird contrast with like the different colors. So I feel like that's what made it a little bit easier. I was able to capture the highlight and the shadow a little bit better, which I really like. After the cherry, I drew the strawberry. Honestly, drawing it made me want to not draw strawberry ever again. It was pretty difficult, especially the seeds and like the leaf part. These seeds, I was getting pretty impatient with it, and I feel like I kind of gave up in the middle of it. I do want to get better at that. I hope I can draw strawberry better in the future. I might want to try again for the strawberry once I learn how to do a little bit more detail, a way to make it easier. After the strawberry, I drew the pear, which I would say is my favorite out of the 8 that I drew. So with this one, I used the cross hatching as well. Once I started getting to the pear, I want to say I started using more of like the 4B, 6B, and 8B pencils. I feel like using the higher B pencils really helped me get that contrast between the highlight and the shadows. I did also use the tortillas on all of them. That helps blend it out, make it look a little bit smoother. So overall, I really like how the pear turned out. After the pear, I drew the avocado. I am also pretty proud of how that avocado turned out. I kind of used more like of an up and down stroke for the rendering. I didn't do any cross hatching for this one. I was going to use it, but it was a little bit difficult because of the shape. I think it would have thrown it off in a way that I wouldn't like it to. I did use a cross hatching for the shadow though, which I think you can kind of tell right here in the bottom, a little bit over on the top. The most difficult part with this avocado was that shadow for the pit. Since the avocado has like a dark green and a lighter green, with the shadow it was a bit difficult to kind of see which part was going to be darker, because the shadow was pretty similar darkness to like that darker green that it had around here, as well as the pit. So I did have a little bit difficulty of that. With the avocado, I think I started with like a 4B pencil going up to a 6B and 10B. So you can tell I do have much darker values over on this side. After the avocado, I went into the blueberry. I think I did go in with a 12B for this like darker top area, which I really like how dark that one turned out. For the blueberry, I also used a very similar technique to the avocado, more like of an up and down. I did do some cross hatching, but instead of doing it like perpendicular to it, I kind of went a little bit sideways and up and down. I did have a bit of difficulty with the shadow. It was kind of darker in 2 areas in the center, and it was like really fading out into the background, but I kind of managed to figured that out. After the blueberry, I went into the mango. I actually really like how it came out. It was a little bit bigger than all the other ones that I drew, but I feel like it was a little bit easier to blend out. I also used the cross hatching method that I used for the pear with this one. I believe I did use more of like the 10B and 8B pencils. I don't think I went too high up to like a 14B pencil, since it wasn't like too dark. The mango did also have a couple of like darker red and like lighter green areas, but it wasn't to the point where I couldn't figure out where I had to make it darker and lighter like I did with the avocado. So I think it was a little bit easier in that aspect. To get a lot of the highlight points that I did for a couple of the other fruits, I did use the kneading eraser. I did also use the precision eraser. I used it like around the edges right here of the avocado. I did also use it at the highlight point of the mango. The last one that I drew was a pomegranate. The pomegranate was kind of difficult to draw because, like the blueberry, it had kind of like patches all around, but they were a lot more harsh, and it was difficult to get that detail in them. The pomegranate did have a lot more of a darker red color right up here, and a little bit lighter around the bottom, which also was a bit difficult to capture. This top part, the little crown, I'm not sure what it's called, but it was a lot easier than I expected. I thought it was going to be a little bit harder like it was with the strawberry, but the strawberry was a lot more detailed at the top rather than the pomegranate. So I really like how that came out. Overall, I do think I could have done better with the pomegranate, but we are still learning, and I feel like I have learned a lot with the different fruits and the different methods, and especially using the different tools that we have. So that is the end of my sketchbook tour for week 2. Thank you so much for watching, and I am excited to see what you guys created.